It was 2 a.m., that dead of night, silent as a tomb, 2 a.m., when the only sound is your own breathing, and my phone buzzed. You know that sound, the one that rips you out of a dead sleep, the one that means trouble before you even open your eyes. My first thought was my mom in Florida, her chest pains, or maybe Sean's parents out in Arizona. I grabbed the phone. The screen was so bright it hurt. The sender was Sean, my husband of 7 years. Sean, who was supposed to be downtown at his firm in the Loop, pulling an all-nighter for a client presentation. But under his name, it showed who was actually sending it. Michelle Blackwood, his boss, the VP of operations, the shark in a Chanel suit who had been slowly sinking her teeth into my husband's ambition and our marriage for the last 18 months. The message was short, brutal, a shiv in the ribs. He's mine now. He's occupied. Don't wait up. I read it once, twice. My hands were shaking. She had used his phone, picked it up, found my contact, and typed those words. This wasn't a mistake. It was a declaration of war, a power play. I sat there in the dark of our bedroom, the bedroom we'd painted together. 7 years of my life, just collapsing. My mind flashed back. Meeting Sean at that architecture conference in Seattle. He was brilliant driven. We had dinner, then breakfast because we couldn't stop talking. We got married in Napa, under the sun. When my dad died, Sean held me while I fell apart. He promised we were a team. I believed him. Then came this job, this Michelle. The late nights turned into all-nighters. The business trips to Chicago and Atlanta always included her. His phone became Fort Knox, angled away from me, taken into the bathroom. The new expensive cologne I never bought him, the emotional distance that had turned us into roommates who just split the mortgage on a Lincoln Park brownstone. The signs were all there. I'd just been gaslit into ignoring them. My thumbs moved over the keyboard. I could have written a novel. I could have screamed, cried, demanded. Instead, something cold and sharp settled over me. I typed 7 words. Keep him, we're done. And I hit send. The little blue notification popped up. Read! I pictured them somewhere in her high-rise condo, staring at the screen, shocked that I wasn't playing the role of the hysterical, begging wife. No tears, no drama, just a period at the end of the sentence, the end of our marriage. This is the kind of story that could happen to anyone. That text that shatters your whole world while you're sleeping. If you don't want to be blindsided, you need to be part of a community that sees the red flags. Hit subscribe right now, because being alone in this world is a recipe for disaster. Don't be naive. Don't be alone. Subscribe. I tried to sleep. I couldn't. My mind was just working. A cold, clear rage. Then, 20 minutes later, I heard it. A car in the driveway. 2 car doors slamming. Footsteps. I got up, pulled on my jeans. I walked downstairs, past the wedding photos that now looked like a sick joke. I looked through the peephole. There they were. Sean, looking like he'd seen a ghost. His suit was a mess. His face pale and terrified. And Michelle, standing right next to him, smiling, not embarrassed, not sorry, proud, like she'd just won a trophy and had come to show it off. She wanted me to see her victory. She thought that text message was her checkmate. She had no idea I was about to flip the whole damn board. I opened the door, all the way. Sean just exploded with words. Jane, it's not what you think. We were working. It was a mistake. It only happened once. I love you. Just word vomit. Pathetic. Michelle? She just stood there silent, that smug smile plastered on her face, sizing me up. Her silence was louder than his lies. It said, he's mine. You've lost. I let him finish his little performance. Then I looked right at Michelle. How many others have there been? Her smile flickered, just for a second, but I saw it. The micro-expression, the OST moment. I'd spent my career reading clients, finding the structural flaws in their proposals, and I just found hers. Come inside, I said. Both of you. We're not doing this on the porch for the neighbors. Sean practically fell inside, relieved I was talking. Michelle followed, more cautious now. Her stiletto heels clicked on the hardwood floors we'd refinished together. She looked like she was ready for a Vogue shoot. Power suit, perfect hair. Sean looked like he'd been dragged through a hedge. Sean, I said, my voice pure ice. Go upstairs. Guest room. I need to speak with Michelle, privately. He started to protest. He hates confrontation. It's probably what made him such an easy target for her. He saw the look on my face and just folded. He trudged up the stairs. I waited till I heard the door click shut. Then I turned to Michelle. She was standing in the middle of my living room, arms crossed, trying to get that smug smile back. "You expected tears," I said. "Screaming, begging. You wanted me to play the hysterical wife so you could be the rational one. That's not happening." She gave me her smooth, corporate response. "I don't know what you think this is, but Sean and I are consenting adults. What happens between us is none of your concern." "You made it my concern when you sent that text from his phone," I said, stepping closer. "So I'll ask you again, how many other wives have gotten a text like that? How many other married men have you mentored? And does your CEO know his VP of operations is a walking, talking, hostile work environment lawsuit?" The color drained from her face. She finally got it. This wasn't about a broken heart. This was about liability. "You can't prove anything," she hissed, but the polish was gone. "If you try to make trouble, I have resources you can't begin to imagine. Lawyers who will bury you." I almost laughed. "Resources? Let's talk about resources." I pulled out my phone. "I hired a private investigator 6 weeks ago." Her face went white. "His name is Denzel," I said. "Former FBI, specializes in corporate misconduct. When I suspect a foundation is cracked, I don't just patch the drywall. I get a structural engineer." I was gathering receipts. You know who else gathers receipts? This channel. We expose stories just like this every single day. If you're not subscribed, you're basically telling the world you're okay with getting played. Don't be that person. Hit the bell and subscribe. Or, I don't know, go to the comments and tell us why you enjoy being naive. "You've been investigating me?" she whispered. "That's harassment." "Actually, it's not," I said. "Denzel is 100% legal. Public records, public spaces. It started with the credit card statements. Funny, I saw a $500 charge at Alinea on a night Sean told me he was eating stale pizza at the office. A suite at the Peninsula when he was supposedly at a budget motel by O'Hare. I opened the folder on my phone. Denzel is very thorough. I turned the screen. "Here you are. 4 weeks ago, outside Gibson's. His hand on your back. Time stamped. Here you are checking into that hotel. And here you are in your building's garage, 9 p.m. last Tuesday. All photographed, all geotagged, all admissible in court." I clicked to another file. "But photos just tell this story. Denzel was more interested in your history. He tracked down the women from your last firm, the ones who filed those complaints." She was barely breathing. "3 of them agreed to talk," I said. "Gave detailed statements. How you identify an ambitious, insecure married man. How you mentor them. Use your power to create intimacy. And when you're done, or they get problematic, you wreck their careers and marriages and move on." Sean was suddenly at the bottom of the stairs, his face ashen. He'd been listening. "Jane, what is this? What pattern?" I looked at my husband. "You thought you were special, Sean," I said, and I felt nothing but pity. "You thought this was some grand romance. You weren't special. You were just next." I turned back to Michelle. Her mask was gone. This was pure primal fear. "You have 2 options," I said, setting my phone on the table. "Option 1, you resign. Tomorrow morning. You cite personal reasons, family health, whatever. You pack your bags, you leave Chicago, and you vanish. Option 2, Denzel sends his entire file, the photos, the financial records, the video from your apartment garage, the sworn statements from all 3 women, to your CEO, your board of directors, and to a journalist at the Tribune I've already vetted." She started to say something about NDAs. "Oh, those?" I cut her off. "Denzel's legal contact confirmed. Those non-disclosure agreements become void when they're being used to cover a pattern of predatory behavior. Those women are ready to talk. You have 24 hours to decide." My heart was pounding, but I had the upper hand. You want to have the upper hand in your life? You need the right info. Subscribing is free, but the knowledge you get from these stories is priceless. Think about the cost of not knowing. It's terrifying. Smash that subscribe button before you regret it. Michelle just stared at me. Then, without a single word, she turned, walked to my front door, and left. The click of the door closing behind her was the loudest sound I'd ever heard. Sean just collapsed onto the couch, his head in his hands. "Jane, I didn't know," he whimpered. "She told me it was special. She manipulated me." "Of course she did, Sean. That's the playbook. But you're a grown man. You made choices. You chose to lie to me for months. You chose to let her send that text." He started babbling about his career. "My reputation is ruined." Your reputation? I snapped. That's what you're worried about? Not the 7 years of marriage you just torched? You can stay in the guest room tonight. I want you out of this house by Saturday. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. The next morning, I called my sister Queen. I needed my sister. Instead, I got a lecture. Evelyn, are you sure you're not overreacting? She said. I mean, people make mistakes. You're just going to throw away 7 years? I was stunned. Queen, your husband cheated. You divorced him. I know, she said, and her voice got weird. It's just, you always had the perfect life, the perfect career, the perfect house, and I was the screw-up who got divorced. If your marriage fails too, then what does that say about me? I couldn't believe it. My pain wasn't about me. It was about her. My perfect life failing made her feel worse about her own choices. I hung up. But then, a call came from a number I didn't know. It was one of the other victims. Thank you, she said, and she was crying. I took the settlement. I signed the NDA. I was too scared to fight her. You're doing what I didn't have the courage to do. You're making sure the pattern ends. And I realized this was so much bigger than me. This was about all of us. Sean spent the week trying to win me back. Pathetic notes, burnt dinners, a mountain of flowers at my office. I was manipulated, he kept saying. I love you. On Friday, I went into his home office to get some financial papers for my lawyer. His laptop was open, an email, in his sent folder from 2 days ago, sent to Michelle. Subject, we need to talk. My blood ran cold. I clicked it. Evelyn knows everything, he wrote. She has evidence from a private investigator, photographs, statements. She's planning to expose everything if you don't resign. You need to be careful. I'm sorry I couldn't warn you sooner. He was warning her. After everything, he was still protecting her. His apologies were lies. His love was a performance. He wasn't sorry he did it. He was just sorry he got caught. I took a picture of the screen, sent it to Denzel, sent it to my lawyer, then I texted Sean. I found the email you sent to Michelle. Be out by tomorrow morning or I'm changing the locks. That night, my mom called. Catherine told me what she said, my mom said. No preamble. She was wrong, and I'm proud of you. And then she told me something I never knew. Your father cheated on me once, she said, her voice steady. When you were 5, he begged, he cried, and I stayed, because that's what women in my generation did. But I regretted it. The respect was gone. I'm proud you're not making my mistake. Sean was gone by Saturday. That night, I got an email from a burner account. Subject, you won. It was Michelle. I've submitted my resignation. I hope you're satisfied, destroying another woman's career over your failed marriage. She was still trying to spin it, to make me the villain. I forwarded it to Denzel. Consciousness of guilt, I wrote. This is what accountability looks like. We do this every week. Are you part of this, or are you just a bystander? Bystanders get run over. Don't get run over. Join the family. Hit subscribe. If you're not subscribing, you're part of the problem. Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong in the comments. I'll wait. A few days later, Denzel called. 2 more women have come forward, he said, from her current company. Her sudden resignation made them realize they weren't alone. Then the journalist called. George from the Tribune. I've been hearing whispers about Amelia Blackwood, he said. Multiple sources mentioned you have documentation. I had to decide, stay quiet, or burn it all down. My silence protected her. Her silence let her hurt more people. I'll talk, I told him. I gave him everything. The photos, the statements, the email from Sean. The article dropped 2 weeks later. The pattern of power. How one executive's conduct reveals larger industry problems. It was a nuclear bomb. It documented 7 years, 2 companies, and at least 8 victims. Sean called me, screaming. How could you? You humiliated me. My boss called me in. My career is over. His complete inability to see beyond his own ego was staggering. You destroyed your own reputation, Sean, I said, and blocked his number for good. The company issued a BS corporate statement. We are conducting a thorough review. But Denzel told me that internally it was a bloodbath. The CEO was apoplectic. The board was demanding to know who protected her for so long. I got one last email from Michelle, angrier this time. You destroyed me because you were too weak to keep your husband interested, she wrote. You're the villain. I saved it, and I replied with 4 words. Actions have consequences, Michelle. I never heard from her again. The divorce was finalized. We sold the house. I took my half and bought a killer loft in the West Loop. All mine. I met with the other women. We had coffee. We're not victims. We're a network. My sister Queen finally got into therapy and apologized. We're rebuilding. My mom passed away. I was with her. Her final gift to me was her truth. It's been 2 years. My life is my own. I joined the board of a nonprofit, designing safe housing for women leaving dangerous situations. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that text. He's mine now. Michelle thought she was announcing a victory. She had no idea she was handing me the keys to my own freedom. She thought that text would break me. Instead, it freed me from a marriage that was already dead and freed me to build a life that was finally 100% mine. My new life is mine. I built it. You can build yours too, but you can't do it if you're not learning from other people's nightmares. This channel is your university. Don't skip class. The subscription button is right there. Click it. Or just keep scrolling, I guess, and hope for the best. Good luck with that.